Maybe lately you've been thinking about buying a house.
I could buy a house.
And maybe in your research, you've heard that new home builders have been struggling for the last several months because of the housing market challenges. And because of that, they're offering great incentives. And maybe that's caused you to consider buying a home straight from the builder. But maybe you don't know where to start. Maybe you don't know which builders to talk to. I've said maybe a whole bunch of times. In this video, I'm going to name off all of the builders building in the Conroe and surrounding area to give you an idea of which builders are building in your price point and which ones would be the best options for you. Stay tuned. What's up, everyone? It's Jeff with Jeff West Properties, your host for the Conroe Living Channel, where we identify and celebrate everything that makes Conroe, Texas, one of the fastest growing cities in the nation, as well as one of the best places to live. So far this year, the vast majority of my clients have been buyers, and specifically buyers looking at new builds. That's partially because there's so little inventory in the resale market right now, so there's not much to sell and there's not much for me to bring my buyers to. Of course, it could also be that I've made several videos specifically on new houses, and a lot of people have reached out because of that. With these new clients, the question I probably get asked more than any other question is, what makes this house worth more than this house? Why is this house so much more expensive than this one over here? Is it because they have gold toilets? I bet it's because they have gold toilets. They didn't say that last part, but I bet they were thinking it. There are several factors that make up a home's value. So what I'm going to do is break down the different building tiers, what the differences are between those tiers, and which builders are building in those categories. There are four basic construction tiers. There's entry-level, mid-level, luxury, and custom. Entry-level homes are just what they sound like. It's the opening price point to get people into a home. In 2023, these start somewhere in the low 200s to mid 300s in the area. Most of the time, these are going to be 3-bedroom. They're going to be smaller. I've seen everything from 900 square feet to right around 2,000 square feet. With these, you're usually going to be limited in your design choices. They're going to use less expensive materials for things like flooring and counters, fixtures, things like that. These are what we would call builder grade finishes. You're normally going to find these homes on 40-foot wide lots as builders build today. What that means is you're only going to be able to build 30 feet across because you have to leave 5 feet on either side of the structure for easement. So these houses are going to be a little smaller, or they're going to build 2 stories to maximize the space. Also, the land itself is usually going to be less expensive, so it's going to be a lot of times a little bit further out from the most desirable places in an area. It's the old adage of real estate. What makes real estate worth something?
It's location, location, location.
Now, these are the main reasons that the homes are less expensive. It's not because they're inferior builds. They're not built with particle board and duct tape.
Structural collapse imminent.
All these homes are solidly built. They have to pass city inspections and be up to the latest builder code. You're going to get a good, solid home for you and your family. And because they're brand new, they're going to tend to be more energy efficient and save you money on utilities. This is really where we find the beginning of the American dream of home ownership. It's the price point that the most people can afford, so you're going to have a lot more houses in this price point. The builders in this price point of entry-level homes are Some of these builders also build in other tiers, but this is their starting point. The next tier is the mid-tier, or what we commonly call the move-up homes. This is because usually they're bought by people who already have an entry-level home, but their family has grown, or the kids are getting older, or maybe they just have made more money in their job and they want a nicer place. Prices here usually start in the high 3s to around $600,000. In this category, you're now going to start to see different lot sizes, 45-foot lots all the way up to, I think, 60-foot lots in this price range. That means you're going to be able to build more house. So a lot of these houses are 2,000, 3,000 square feet area. You're also going to have more yard space for a backyard or to build a pool. In this price range, you're also going to see higher end finishes in things like your flooring, your cabinetry, your fixtures, your countertops. You'll start to see quartz countertops in this price range. You'll also start to see different rooms that starter homes don't normally have. Things like dedicated offices, media rooms, game rooms, and sometimes 3-car garages. The builders that build in this price point in Montgomery County are maker. The next tier is the luxury tier. And this is where you're going to really see elegant homes. You're going to see as much as 80-foot lots. You're going to have homes that are 4, sometimes 5,000 square feet. You're going to see things like spiral staircases and grand entryways and wine bars. This is where you're really going to start to see the luxury finishes. Things like real wood floors, custom cabinetry, marble, things like that. They're also going to have higher end appliance packages, and usually they're going to be built by a little higher standard. People who are craftsmen, not just tradesmen. They're going to have some of the best project managers in the industry working with this price point. In this price range, you'll also start to see some options within the floor plan. They won't change the square footage or the footprint, but you can maybe move some walls around or you can add a room as a bonus. But keep in mind, this is an option. It's not a customization. In this price range, you're looking at builders like The final tier is custom homes. Unlike the other 3 tiers where they are production homes, they already have pre-designed floor plans, this is where you really get to build your dream home. You can make it anything you want. You're only limited by imagination, money, and physics. In this category, you're usually buying the land first and they build on that. So you'll buy a lot in a custom home community, or you can buy like lakefront property on Lake Conroe. There are some lots available. Or you can just buy raw land. Buying land in Conroe, Willis, Montgomery is a really popular choice for those people who can afford it. I'm not going to list off all the custom home builders in the area because that would really be impossible. You've got everything from reputable companies to Frank and his F-150. One thing that's important to note is that in Texas, there are no licensing requirements to be a builder, and there's no agency that oversees and regulates it. Because of that, sometimes people's dream homes have turned into nightmares if they've chosen the wrong builder. I'll probably make another video on how to choose a custom home builder, but for the time being, if you're thinking about going that route and you have any questions, just give me a call. So, after narrowing down those tiers, finding out what your budget is and what you can get, which builder is right for you? Really, at this point, it comes down to preference. There are certain things that you may value that certain builders have. There are signatures that some builders have, like Weston does spiral staircases, and Meritage is really big into high energy efficiency. So the answer really lies in what is important to you. It's probably easier for me to just make a video of which builders not to work with than it is to tell you which the best ones are. In fact, I'll probably make that video next. Now, those of you who follow the channel know that I split it between Conroe promotion and real estate education, where I try to provide as much information and advice for free as possible. So I hope this doesn't come across as a commercial, but if you are planning on buying a new build home, get a realtor. Have someone who is working on your behalf, who knows the neighborhoods, who knows the builders, who knows the builders' agents, who knows the good and the bad of the different builders, and ultimately someone who's going to advocate for you. You could go straight to the showroom, and there will be a sales consultant who will walk you through the whole process, and they are great people. I have a lot of good friends that do that. But at the end of the day, they work for the builder, and they're looking out for the builder's best interest. You need someone who's going to advocate for you and you alone. Plus, with very few exceptions, you as a buyer are not paying for it anyway, so it doesn't cost you anything to have representation. So on that note, if you have any questions about new builds or real estate in general in the Conroe or Greater Houston area, reach out to me. Give me a call, send me an email, send me a text. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. I'm a relocation specialist who's helped people from all over the nation become future Texans. Yeehaw, gig 'em. How about them Cowboys? We don't really have a good slogan for the Houston Texans. probably be something like "We're really trying." You can also find more real estate information as well as learn more about one of the fastest growing cities in America, Conroe, Texas, by subscribing to the Conroe Living Channel, or check out videos like these.